and all
What
of that.
percentage of women would you say are ready to be wives?
I would say probably like 20%.
Ma'am, 20% out
Mhm.
of 100% out of 100%. If 80% are not, that means you just made my freaking point.
Okay, but
No, no, no,
um,
no. Let's before we move, let's
mhm,
acknowledge the math. You can't. The math ain't mathing. You
mhm.
said that you're making an unfair generalization. Then I asked you if you thought generalizations are fair. You said no. And then we had to go acknowledge the fact that that's bullshit. If the
Okay.
majority of something is true, it doesn't have to be 100%. 51% will do.
Mhm.
That's the majority. The presidency is decided by that little of a margin. Okay? That's how
Okay.
the world works. And then I'm asking you, the person that says, I make the unfair generalization about a group of women, you tell me that 20% of said women are ready to be wives. That means you agree with me. Um, sure. What's
Okay.
the
Thank
issue?
you. I feel like some of the arguments that you make are unfair, mostly because you blame women a lot for the state of the dating market today, and I think
Give
that
me an
it's very
example of what you're talking about.
um, saying that women today are not ready to be wives, I think is not fair.
Based
Um,
upon what?
based upon, I understand that there's a sector of women who aren't ready to be married, but I think that um, making that general statement is not fair toward women.
Oh, okay,
And
first off, are generalizations fair?
no, well,
Bullshit.
okay,
Bullshit. How old are you?
I'm 32.
Bullshit. Generalizations are fair.
Okay, I'll concede to that.
All
Um,
right. So saying that women are not ready to be wives based upon what?
um, again, saying that they don't understand submission and being feminine and all
What
of that,
percentage of women would you say are ready to be wives?
I would say probably like 20%.
Ma'am, 20% out
Mhm.
of 100% of out of 100%. If 80% are not, that means you just made my freaking point.
Okay, but
No, no, no,
um,
no. Let's before we move, let's
mhm,
acknowledge the math. You can't. The math ain't mathing. You
mhm.
said that you're making an unfair generalization. Then I asked you if you thought generalizations are fair. You said no. And then we had to go acknowledge the fact that that's bullshit. If the
Okay.
majority of something is true, it doesn't have to be 100%. 51% will do.
Mhm.
That's the majority. The presidency is decided by that little of a margin. Okay? That's how
Okay.
the world works. And then I'm asking you, the person that says, I make the unfair generalization about a group of women, you tell me that 20% of said women are ready to be wives. That means you agree with me.
Okay, but also,
But
I would
does
say,
the, but does the, but does that but does the math support my logic?
yeah, okay,
Okay,
yeah, I'll agree
oh,
with you on that point, yes.
okay,
But I also would caveat that with the fact that most men aren't ready to be husbands
doesn't
either.
matter.
Mm. Okay, and
Doesn't matter. Men have longer to wait. Men have
okay.
longer lives. See, what you've just proven
Mm.
is you're arguing in bad faith. You don't like the facts. And then it's, I know you are, but what am I? So what? If men aren't ready, all men have to be ready for is what percentage of women? All 100% of men have to be ready for is what percent of women?
For the 20%.
Thank you. So
Okay. Okay, I'll
is it that I'm unfair?
well, it's just the way that the arguments are framed, saying that,
They're framed in logic. They're framed in statistics, data, facts, observable reality, things you can go see for yourself.
but you run under the assumption that all the men are out here
I
looking
don't
for
labor under any
wives.
assumption. I said that we don't have enough wives for men who want to be husbands. And you just said 20% of women. Don't tell me what I did when you tell me 2 out of 10 already.
Okay, I would argue that 2 out of 10 men are ready to be
I don't
husbands. So,
care. It doesn't matter. See, it's one of these things of, well, women aren't ready, but the men aren't either. That's how they've learned how to argue. All right, but is a woman at 25 and a man at 25, do they have the same market value?
no.
Oh, okay. Whose market value is higher?
Um, for the dating market or marriage?
Uh, The sexual marketplace. A
Oh,
21-year-old woman and a 21-year-old man. Who has the higher sexual marketplace value?
the woman,
25-year-old man and a 25-year-old woman. Who has a higher sexual marketplace value?
the woman again,
A 30-year-old woman and a 30-year-old man. Who has a higher sexual marketplace value?
a man,
The 35-year-old man and a 35-year-old woman. Who has a higher sexual marketplace value?
the man.
And as I keep going in 5-year increments, will women ever overtake a man's sexual marketplace value?
Not in the long term, no.
No. Will it grow at a steady rate, or will it get exponentially larger? Meaning a 50-year-old man and a 50-year-old woman, will they have the same difference between them as a 30-year-old man and a 30-year-old woman, or will it be greater?
It'd be greater.
Thank you. So by math, you've just said women have roughly a 10-year period before their value dips below men. So it doesn't matter if men aren't ready. Men have a fucking lifetime. Women got 10 years.
Okay, that's actually one of the points I agree with you. One of the
But
few
ma'am,
points I agree with you.
that's at the basis of
But
all my arguments.
but sorry,
Oh my
I
God.
don't mean to change the subject, but
But
I
before, we're
recall.
not going to change the
Oh,
subject.
sorry.
We can move. We can ask another question.
Mhm.
But you gotta admit that there is nothing that you made in your initial statement that lines up with the facts of what I just said.
Yeah, I'll agree to that.
So, can you honestly say you listen to what I say in good faith?
Yeah, absolutely. I
Well, then if you
do.
did, ma'am, then you will listen to those facts, those numbers. I don't just say stuff to be saying it.
Okay.
But just because I don't break every time I say something down in a 5-minute explanation of a quip.
Okay.
Next question.
Um, I've noticed because I've watched a lot of your content in the past couple of months, and I noticed, especially, I think it was last week that a woman called in. She was a 45-year-old virgin, and I've noticed that when it comes to virgins calling into your show, I feel like you don't give them fair treatment. You just label them all as socially awkward and just hiding behind their faith
That's
as a
not
way to.
true. Ma'am, that is patently false. And I have at least 3 shows I could pull up right now.
Okay, then I'll just go back to the woman that called last week, who was 45 years old
Uh
and,
huh.
and a virgin.
Uh
I
huh.
felt like you weren't being fair to her,
Uh huh.
mostly
Uh
because
huh.
you felt like she was delusional, which I
Uh
actually agree
huh.
with you on that.
Uh huh.
However,
What did I say? What did I? She. What? I said she was socially awkward. When was the last time that woman had a date?
I think she said like 12 years or something.
The last time. I'm sorry. Relationship.
A relationship? Oh,
Hmm.
I know it was a long, long
No,
time.
no, no, no. So you're going to bring this person up. So I need you to be
Mhm.
versed in what you're talking about. How long ago was it?
I'll be honest, I don't recall
Okay,
exactly.
so you're going to bring something to the table to discuss and
Mhm.
accuse me of doing something, but you can't even have a firm enough recall. It was 20 years ago.
Okay. I
You
knew it
got
was
a
a long time.
45-year-old woman who was a virgin who had not had a relationship in 20 years.
Mhm.
If that's not socially awkward, what? Okay, first of all, that doesn't put you in a socially awkward category. Then what about talking to a man that's 52 years old for 2 years? Hmm?
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
admit that that's
Was the woman, no,
abnormal.
no, 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 but was the woman socially awkward?
I feel like you can't judge
I
that
don't care.
based
No,
off.
I don't. No, I don't want you. No, I see. That's the feel. You feel like when you listen to that woman speak. Does that woman sound like she's socially normal, socially above, or socially below? When it comes to romance, relationships, and dating.
I feel like she is, and I understand it's my opinion. I feel like she's strong in her conviction, and
I
that's
don't
something.
care, ma'am. That's not the question I asked. Please answer the question I asked.
Okay.
Was she socially normal? Was she socially above normal? Or was she socially below normal when it comes to the marketplace and dating?
She would be considered abnormal.
Abnormal?
Mhm.
Awkward.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you could use that term.
So you're
Awkward.
going to tell me you feel she's what?
I feel like she's a person who stands strong in her convictions, and that's something that's ridiculed today by the
That's
world.
bullshit, because that's the same woman. I asked her, all right, ma'am, if you're a Christian like I am, are you in a church right now that facilitates single marriage? What was her answer?
She said, not really.
No. So she's not that strong in her convictions, because if ultimately God and her pastor and everything else we talked about, she would be in that one place. See, what you really are showing is you're talking through your feelings.
I'll acknowledge that, but
all right, then who
can you acknowledge that you were?
No.
Sorry.
Well, okay. So you said that I do things that don't line up with what I've done, and you haven't taken them. You've at best you've acknowledged it. How about the fact that you just don't like some of the ways I say things?
No, because like I said, there's some things that I agree with you on, and even
Well, but
in
the
that
thing
conversation.
you brought up. How often do you talk to her? We're splitting hairs too. When you talk to a virgin, how many people are virgins these days? What percentage of the population? What do you think? What percentage of the
My
dating
cousins, most of them
What
are.
percentage of the dating
Oh.
population? I don't give a shit about your cousins.
Okay. Of the dating population, I would
Yes,
say
that's all that matters.
less than 10%.
Less than 10%. What state do you live in?
Massachusetts.
You think less than 10%? Less. Keep going. Give me an approximate number, plus or minus 2.
Okay, I would say, and we're talking about adults here, correct?
That's the only thing that can date, ma'am. I don't know.
Well, teenagers can date too. So, but yeah, I would say.
What the fuck? Only we're talking about adults, ma'am.
Well, teenagers typically.
I don't talk to fucking teenagers.
Okay. Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I would say 8% of
8% of the dating population is are virgins.
Yeah, that's what I would imagine.
Okay.
And I'm a Baptist, so most of the people that the circles I run in, they're mostly virgins.
And how old are you?
I'm 32.
And what city do you live in?
I'm like an hour away from Boston.
And you want to, and the dating population is above 18. You think that, so when you think of dating population, is that 18 to 34?
Yeah, that's my.
You think 8% of people between 18 to 34 are virgins?
Well, honestly, I was going based off of a study I saw that about 35%.
That's a yes or no question before you tell me about the study.
Okay. All right. I guess I was being naive there. So I would say probably, okay, we'll say 1% then.
See, ma'am, I want you to understand. I have just deconstructed your entire argument based on numbers. You said that I was unfair to virgins. And the vast majority, hold on, the vast majority of people aren't virgins. To be a virgin in the dating market over a certain age makes you a little bit awkward by definition. As somebody who spent 2 freaking years coaching and speaking to incels, involuntarily celibate men, virgins and MGTOWs who actually have had training and study in how to actually approach this and to counsel and coach this, I'm not just some guy in a suit sitting up here making up stuff. As I've shown, as I deconstruct you, I know what I'm talking about. Maybe, just maybe, I know more than you do.
Yeah, and I would
And that's
definitely
why
agree.
I say what I say. I didn't say it to hurt her feelings. There's a movie called The 40-Year-Old Virgin. Was that a drama? Was it nonfiction? Was it sci-fi? Or was it comedy?
It was comedy.
Because it's laughable in our society today.
Yeah, and I
All
just
righty. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead and finish
okay.
making your point, though.
Yeah, I just felt that it was rude, essentially, to ridicule someone for that.
I
I
wasn't
understand it's not.
ridiculed. Oh, no, 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 no. Is the truth ridicule?
No,
Oh, hold on, hold on. Hold on, Liz. I got to back you down. What's ridicule?
ridicule would be because you did call her socially awkward, and okay, if
Is
you're
that
going,
ridicule?
well, calling someone socially awkward, would you say that would be a compliment
Is
though?
calling somebody obese ridicule?
No,
Calling somebody a diabetic, is that ridicule?
no.
Is calling somebody what they are ridicule?
Okay, but in
No,
Christian,
ma'am, no,
Mhm.
no. This snowflake generation. A 45-year-old virgin who has delusions of how she's going to find a husband, who says she's strong in her convictions, but she's not even in a church to facilitate single Christian marriage. And
To be fair,
you're defending that, and you're saying I ridiculed her by what?
well,
Calling her socially awkward. What should I have called her?
to be fair, most churches don't facilitate.
No, what should I have called her?
You honestly, and I know it sounds mean, you probably should have just called her out for being lazy.
I did that too.
Oh.
But both things can be true. She's lazy and socially awkward. But I want to go back to the beginning. You don't even like generalizations.
I would disagree with that, but okay.
You said you don't think generalizations are fair.
Well, I did walk that back though once you.
No, you walked it back after I challenged it.
Mm-hmm.
So, ma'am, due respect, it sounds to me like you sounds like to me you what I would consider to be one of these snowflakes. You're too sensitive. Ma'am, she's a 45-year-old virgin who still thinks because she hasn't had menopause, she can have children and God's the final person to decide. And I'm a Christian.
I know that was delusional.
All right, ma'am. Ridicule. Is there a way to tell somebody the truth and not ridicule them?
Yes, for sure.
And how do you determine the difference?
Well,
how do you determine the difference?
The difference between ridicule and telling someone the truth is that the truth is often told in love and wanting to help someone.
You can't love somebody that you don't know. It's about intent. Don't put that on me. I don't have to love a stranger. It's about intent. Ladies, I want to know how the conversation has changed knowing that you're going into this holiday season